Доброго дня.
Good morning. We are starting our press conference on launching the new online platform to support agrarian producers, the State Agrarian Register. The abbreviation is SAR. Today, everyone has their own front lines. While our soldiers are defending our land, the agrarians are fighting for the harvest. And now, like never before, they need assistance. Following the information about the available state and international programs, collecting and bringing the paperwork is time, which the agrarians are always lacking. The State Agrarian Register, or SAR, is a new agrarian policy from the Minister of Agrarian Policy and Foodstuff of Ukraine. Any agrarian producer, small or large, can get registered there and file the application to get assistance through their own personal cabinet, electronic cabinet in a few clicks. No paperwork, no red tape. All the information comes from state databases automatically. The system informs about the new programs and opportunities. Follow the information on SAR and file applications to get assistance for agrarian producers, both from the government of Ukraine and international organizations. The State Agrarian Registry, SAR. This is the unified digital hub, and Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Foodstuff, Denis Bashlyk, will be the keynote speaker. Colleagues, it's an open secret that the Ukrainian agrarians today are the true defenders of not only Ukraine, but of the whole world. It's thanks to the heroism and work of our agrarians. We have 17.5 million tons of harvest collected. And that happens at the time when the enemy keeps shelling the territories of Ukraine, destroying the fields, setting fire to them, and doing everything that they could for Ukraine to fail to provide food for them, for itself and for the whole world. So what's the policy of our agriculture ministry? To create all the comfortable conditions for our agrarians, for our farmers, to receive as much support as needed, so that this assistance would be user-friendly to help them achieve new victories. So today we present to you the Unified State Agrarian Register, the abbreviation SAR, aimed to simplify life of the Ukrainian agrarians and in the future provide them with the needed funding. Once again, I would like to stress out that the launch of this project now is extremely important. The reason being that in addition to traditional problems that our agrarians usually face, today we operate in the time of war, which creates new problems with the deficits, with access to state institutions, government institutions, even to physically file the application expecting to receive some government support. So SAR is a unified online platform created by the Ministry of Agriculture to attract transparently all types of assistance. And I would like to stress out that that could be a traditional assistance coming from the government, and which is quite relevant nowadays, is international humanitarian support. Let me give you a background. Digitalization is not only the global trend in government's operations, but that's a vital necessity, especially in the time of war. However great new institutions we are establishing, the human factor stays on. A person can lose documents, a person can pass not the most accurate decision, and then you need to find what was the decision-making process, what's the status of the review of the application. By the way, the launch of the SAR is an important step to prepare Ukraine for the membership in the European Union, because the SAR meets all the EU directives on the state support of the agriculture. So it makes us, in digital form, a member of the European family of supporters of their agriculture. Quite recently, providing support to the Ukrainian agrarians happened in 90% of cases in paper form. So first, the farmer has to find the relevant assistance program, and it was an uphill battle, especially when we talk about international assistance programs. Secondly, the farmer needed to understand whether he meets the criteria that this assistance program provides for us. Thirdly, he had to collect all the needed paperwork to become a participant of such program. So it was of a big concern to me, but by launching the DIA app, we are getting rid of this because the government asks the farmers to provide a template package of documents that the government already has in its possession. So we need to step away from this, and SAR is aimed to resolve this because it all took time of our farmers, of our agricultural producers, not only their time, but also the willingness for them to get involved in any type of assistance programs. And I can clearly understand them in this, because we agrarians have enough choirs to deal with, so it's better to spend time for something important than collecting paperwork. So the launch of this state register will simplify things. So you can file the application from home online. For that, you need to have a computer, notebook, tablets, and the electronic key. All of the applications will be collected in one program. The individual electronic cabinet will allow you to upload any information needed to become the participant of such program. Also, you can keep track of the status of your application, who reviews it, at what stage the review process is, and what might be the ultimate decision upon your application. Let me make a little proviso here. This project is not only important for the agrarians, but also becomes quite a powerful tool for the government, because it becomes an analytical tool for the government to help pass future decisions based on available actual data. These data, which is important, would be objective, timely, and actual. So you can analyze the efficiency of assistance provided in real-time mode, actually. So who can get registered in the SAR? Anyone among the farmers, agricultural producers, even individual farmers can get registered there. If you own a couple of hectares or 2 cows, get registered in the SAR. If you are an agri-giant and you're managing thousands and thousands of hectares of arable land, you can still get registered in the SAR. But all you need for this is one thing: have the electronic signature, a qualified electronic signature. For the time currently, that's not something unique. All the legal entities already have such electronic signature. So, what would the SAR be uploading from other registers and databases? Well, the data on the farmer from the Unified Tax Register. Secondly, information about the land plots that currently are being stored in the State Register, Cadastral Register, and the State Register of Titles. Then, if you're doing with cattle breeding, information about the animals that you registered in the Unified Registry of Animals. Also, the farmer, if need be, can add statistical information along the lines of its business activities, a copy of statutory documents for legal entities, and any other paperwork, because in the future there might be needs for additional paperwork. Our international partners sometimes have some specific requirements, but the SAR tool allows to meet those requirements without stepping out of your home, just uploading an electronic document through your electronic cabinet. As to the relays that would be available in the SAR, well, first of all, the Ministry of Agrarian Policy would play the role of a regulator of this register, international donors, other government institutions, and I hope in the nearest future we will have banks there as well, those who will start considering farmers' applications, and they will be helping to simplify granting credit lines for the agrarians, because the SAR is a government tool, not just information stored God knows where. So the registration will take a couple of clicks to be concluded. Well, exactly like you tested yourselves when you registered with the DIA application. And again, it's important because nobody wants to spend too much time to provide initial paperwork. So our motto was helping the farmers with is a couple of clicks away. So the process of registering and filing the application looks quite straightforward. So instead of just pointing the slides of our presentation, we will show you live how we file the application, how it's being registered, how it helps to fill in the information in the profile. So briefly, the process is being presented on the slide, but I'd rather demonstrate it practically. So lots of people ask what could we expect in this SAR tool that would be actually helpful for the farmers. So the first two initial programs would be aimed at the support of small farmers, those who, because of the aggression of Russia, experienced the biggest damages, so the most vulnerable group of farmers. So please get registered in advance. That's my advice to you, because I know that as soon as there is a public announcement about this program, there might be some technical problems arising with registering too many applicants. So hopefully that won't happen, but still I want you to file your applications to get registered in advance. I would like to thank the European Union, because they helped us to design and test this State Agrarian Register, the SAR tool that we present today to you, and which is now being ready for full-fledged deployment. So thank you. And now, finally, let's demonstrate how it works. Okay, you can see at the screen what a farmer would see on his screen after he got registered and gets access to his cabinet. So 4 major topics: the programs of support, profile, the user manual, and announcements. Any announcements about what's the status of the application, the data from the unified state registry of companies would be uploaded automatically, so you don't have to take any paper documents yourself. Now, the activities here and profile here, the farmer could add information about the crops that he plans to cultivate. Often enough, our European partners, when they plan to provide some grant assistance to the farmers within the EU, they immediately ask to declare what crops are you planning to develop at what area. Next, the information about land plots, the information automatically uploaded from the state cadastre register and the titles register. So you can see the status of those land plots, whether they've been rented or sub-rented. Next chapter, documents. Like I said, if you need any additional documents to meet the requirements of certain programs, like the statutory documents, well, you can easily upload it through that chapter. And the last chapter in this drop-down menu are animals. You can see all the animals with the information about their status. It's all being presented in the profile of the agricultural producer. Now, the next chapter is programs of support. So, available programs of support. These are the programs that the farmer is qualified for. All you need is push a button, file application, sign it with your electronic signature key, and then just monitor the status of the review of this application. Now, potentially available programs, the second one, what does it mean? That means that farmer meets most of the requirements, but he's lacking something, or he has something in excess. So then the farmer decides what needs to be done to be qualified for this potentially available program. Other programs is where the farmer is not qualified for the program. And finally, my applications under programs. This is where you can see the status of your application review, whether the ultimate decision has been already made. So what's happening with your applications, received, approved, signed. So you press here, details, and you can see the full process of application review, who received it, what was the initial decision, what were the comments, and finally, as an outcome, what was the ultimate decision and when it was made. Please get back to the main page. So that's homepage. That's the key functionality of the State Agrarian Register, already available as we speak. But of course, we can keep improving it. We can add here banking institutions and other institutions our agrarians are used to cooperate with. So this is the foundation that will keep being developed through microservices, all aimed at making life of our farmers comfortable and easy, as easy as possible when he communicates with the government. So please follow our announcements, and we'll try to launch and demonstrate what's available as soon as possible, because we need to start supporting our farmers now in the harvest season. Thank you. And now I pass the floor to Serhii Rybalko, the founder of Adelaida farm. Hello, everyone. Welcome, the farmers, agricultural producers. Good news. We finally have the new tool at our disposal. Now, lots of people finally got convinced that Ukraine becomes a leader, even among the EU countries, in terms of digitalization of all of the processes, both in terms of how the government operates and the businesses. And it's true, nobody could think that our DIA app would be so far ahead of other similar European software tools. Another uniqueness of SAR tool is that agriculture becomes a highly intellectual business under clear skies. So the predominant majority of agrarians clearly understand now where to get information, how to transfer it digitally, how to manage your farm using modern tools and modern gadgets. So as the result, we get this State Agrarian Register, and there is a tremendous need in this tool. Why? Because it's a one-stop operation. You can see all the information, who will be the users of this information, and the users would be the government, first of all, the Ministry of Agriculture, secondly, investors, potential investors, and thirdly, banks. They don't need to request this information from each one of us. We don't need to come to them and present how great we are. Now, all you can say is open my profile on the State Agrarian Register, and you will know all you need to know about how we run our business. So that's the tool that could be presented everywhere, especially during interviews with financial institutions. Today, during the war ends, especially after the war is over, that will be extremely important, how to attract funds. And having such open platform, that's what we will ensure. What can we observe is available today in this application? I have passed the first test yesterday. I got registered there myself to test how it works. So all you need to have for this, electronic digital signature. And that's not a problem for legal entities and as well as to individual farmers. You can easily arrange your digital signature through Privat24, and then for all of us, this signature would confirm that the information would stay confidential. So I went through this procedure. It proved to be very easy, user-friendly, not difficult at all. What's the most important thing? The majority of information that is uploaded to your profile, it's done automatically from the register of titles and the register of cadastre. It's done automatically. You don't need to spend time and go through the motions. No, it's going to be automatically uploaded and available there. Adding additional information about the agricultural equipment or animals, well, it will take half an hour or probably additional hour for the biggest farmers. What else? Notifications. A lot of us are not even aware of the available programs. Previously, what the government would do, like the Ministry of Agriculture will offer information about the state supports program on the website, but if you are not being notified about this, you can miss it. While here, you will be, by the way, there will be a mobile phone version, not only for tablets and PC, and receive those notifications about potential investment projects, about any projects currently available. So that's extremely important tool. What do banks get out of it? They also, by having access to all this picture, believe you me, today they give us requests on multiple pages for us to fill in, but in the future they will just use the information available in this application, and that would become a very known tool to be used by them. Now, what are the potential fears? Everything new brings fears into the hearts of the farmers, and they think to themselves, well, why would I share this information? Others would know everything about me. No. You will have access to your cabinet. Some of the ministry officials will have access there. And if banks or potential investors have interest in you, you give them access to your page, and they will be granted access for 2 weeks. And so it's 2 weeks time restriction for access. And then another fear is, well, why should I disclose my information? Well, because that's the name of the game now. 10 years ago, Mr. Vadatursky told me, if you want to become a rich person, Serhii, operates in legal and law-obedient environment. If you want to live safely and quietly, just stay law-obedient and transparent. And by the way, this tool will not contain any information that could not be taken from other public access databases. So it just brings everything in one place. So don't be afraid that it would somehow reveal confidential information. No. Success comes to those who operate openly, transparently, and thus are able to attract foreign investments. So for me, that's a very important step indeed. I would like to thank all the European institutions that worked on this. This is a step that would definitely help the agrarians to work much faster and more efficiently. Thank you all who helped us. Thank you, the Minister, for designing this application. I am confident the agrarians would be using it with satisfaction. Thank you for your kind words, and it's true. You mentioned two very important things. Firstly, that the opposition to digitalization always claimed that digital electronic signature is something that is difficult to get. No, it's something that is very easy and has been received by so many people. It's been created first and foremost for the safety of people. And now in the time of war, you don't always can share your physical signature. And Secondly, let's not work through what we call gray schemes. No, let's stay open, transparent. We want to become part of the European family, and we can see that the government and our international partners give you more preferences if you operate as a law-obedient business rather than getting involved in some gray business schemes. So that's great news that you all acknowledge and recognize that. Thank you for your attention. Would you have any questions at this point of time? Well, this is just the first press conference, and as soon as the first grants would come to us, well, we'll have more to cover. Thank you, and let's work for our victory. Thank you, and goodbye.